When comparing and ordering rational numbers, most likely you're going to be giving numbers that are in different forms. In this example, we have two fractions and we have one decimal. The easiest way to do this is to change all of your fractions into decimals, because decimals are something that we see a lot more often than fractions, and we're better equipped to put them in order from least to greatest or greatest to least because we deal with them more often. Remember, to change a fraction to a decimal, we have to use our cowboy and horse method. The top number is the cowboy, the bottom number is the horse. The cowboy goes in the house, takes off his boots, hangs up his hat, and leaves the horse outside. Oh, he forgot to eat his donut. Now we can start dividing. 4 cannot go into 3, but 4 can go into 30 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. When we subtract, we're left with 2. But don't forget, you can add as many zeros after the decimal as you need to in order to solve. 4 can go into 20 5 times. When I multiply that, 5 times 4, I get 20, and I zero out, which means I'm done. What this tells us is that 3/4 is really the same as 0.75. Now I have to change my -6/4 into a decimal as well. I don't need to worry about the negative sign right now. I just need to divide like normal, and then I know I need to put the negative sign when I'm done. Again, cowboy, horse. Cowboy goes in the house, takes off his boots, hangs up his hat, and eats a donut. He leaves his horse outside. 4 can go into 6 one time. 1 times 4 is 4, and when I subtract, I'm left with 2. I bring down my 0. 4 can go into 20 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. When I subtract, I zero out, so I'm done. Now, don't forget, this was a negative, so I have to go back and I have to put my negative sign with my new answer. -6/4 is the same as -1.5. So now I am left with these numbers, and I need to put them in order from least to greatest. I know that anything with a negative is going to be smaller than anything that does not have a negative. And since we only have one negative number, that's going to be our smallest. I know we changed it to a decimal to make it easier for us to see, but we need to, when we write it, we need to write it back in its original form, because that is how we will see it on an answer choice. So -6/4 is going to be our smallest number. You could have also known that just by knowing that was the only negative number up there. So without even doing that division, you could have known that -6/4 was the smallest because it was the only negative. Now we have 2 more answers to put in least to greatest. I have 0.75 and I have 1.2. I know that 0.75 is smaller than 1.2 because it doesn't even have a whole number. But again, I'm going to rewrite it in its original form because that's how it will be written. Then finally, I have my 1.2 as my biggest number.